Let's get to some games on the ice tonight here. The Capitals in town to take on the Philadelphia Flyers. And by the way, Joe, did you know during the 86-87 NHL season, my very first game was a 4-2 victory at the Spectrum where the Flyers knocked off the Capitals there with a nice late goal by Tim Kerr. But the Flyers, the favorite tonight. What? The Flyers are a favorite, Joe. Talk to me on this game.
Well, that's just wrong. No, I mean, but aren't the Capitals are actually a pretty decent team here, Donnie, taking on the how many games now have the Flyers lost here in a row here? But the Capitals, I think, they're 3 in a row now, looking for their 4th straight win here before the break. You kind of like them. I mean, 4-1-1 in the last 6 here. And they just beat a really good Islanders team. So I don't understand this outside of the backup goalie playing here. I still don't know that the Flyers have enough to be able to win this game.
Rebuild mode for those Flyers. It's what we live for now in the city of Philadelphia. But the Buffalo Sabres, we just talked about, Joe, knocking down the Florida Panthers. No rest for the weary. Buffalo going to get over from Sunrise to Tampa here and take on the Lightning. And by the way, overnight, this was as high as a minus 245 favorite here for Tampa Bay, which we now still sit between minus 205 to minus 220, depending where you're shopping at, as a heavy favorite for the Lightning over the Sabres, Joe.
Yeah, this is let's face it, Donnie, this is a tough spot here for Buffalo. A very physical game against the Florida Panthers. Now they take a trip up, up the West Coast there to get to Tampa, who had a pretty fun game. We talked about at the Winter Classic at Raymond James Stadium against the Bruins, a game in which they wanted a shootout. And listen, Sabres, if we're going to take you seriously, you got to be able to win games like this against the Lightning. You passed the test against the Panthers last night. Tough spot for them, though, here tonight against the Lightning.
Just talked about those Edmonton Oilers and whether or not it's going to be a long-term destination after 11 years to get longer here for their superstar Connor McDavid. Tonight, Toronto comes to town, and look at this price point. Say it ain't so, Toronto. Minus 205 as a favorite towards the Edmonton Oilers at home with Jari in net versus Stolarz here. Oh, Toronto not looking good.
Yeah, not looking good. But you know what is looking good, Donnie? Probably goals, and a lot of them in this game here. So I don't imagine us taking a underlook in this game. It feels like it's over or pass with these two teams right now.
Take a look at some of these Stanley Cup odds as I slide down. Let me take a look here. So you got Colorado, Joe, at a plus 220 price still standing. We talked about it yesterday. But as I slide down, I'm trying to find those Buffalo Sabres. And I got to go down to a 50-1 price to win the Stanley Cup for the Sabres, which is actually behind teams like the Utah Mammoth. They get no respect in the marketplace to win it all, Joe. Why is that?
Yeah, well, because they're probably going to get crushed here tonight against Tampa, and then all will be well in the world. But listen, you got to appreciate it, but not like this is a team filled with guys who have been there and done this before. I think there's going to be an interesting shift, though, Donnie, come once we get past the Olympic break here. It's a very strange situation, playing your best hockey, and then all of a sudden you go into a 2-week break, and then you got to come back and put it together. Not a great situation. It probably favors the veteran-laden teams who at least have been there and done this before in years.
By the way, help me out with this. Like, it used to be back in the day, like Flyers-Rangers was must-see hockey there. The Eric Lindros years and all the fights that they had, and when both of these teams were good. The Rangers had been decent. The Flyers absolutely stink. But I look at the marketplace to win a Stanley Cup. Now, the Flyers are 225-1 to win the Stanley Cup this year. They're probably not even going to make the playoffs. But the Rangers are 500-1. What happened in New York, Joe? What happened here?
They're awful. They can't win a game at home, Donnie. They can't score. Could you imagine being a Rangers team where you go to the Garden and it's not a home ice advantage anymore? It's kind of crazy. They've actually been at least a little bit more decent on the road, but the firepower just not there.
Oh, man, shout out to New York Rangers fans struggling in these streets here. George Kurtz will come on along with us next. We'll talk more hockey. Here we go. It's Tuesday right here on the early line. Yeah, we're getting you ready for Super Bowl Sunday here. Super Bowl 60, and that's going to be the Seattle Seahawks taking on those New England Patriots. But we're having some fun talking hockey, and for me, it used to be fun talking hockey. My Flyers used to be good. I'm Donnie Rightside. He's Joe Raineri. Now we bring in George Kurtz here. It's cold outside the Northeast. No better time to talk hockey than right now, George.
I might make a joke about the Flyers. You used to be good. How far back we going here? But then again, I'm an Islanders fan, so I don't think I have anything much to say.
Exactly, George. Let's go back 24 hours to the Capitals knocking off the Islanders 4-1. What's going on up in the island? You got a beautiful arena. Start winning up there, George. Come on.
Listen, they're a weird team because you don't know what you're going to get game in and game out. It's all about Sorokin, right? He's the one blue chip player they have. If he's playing great, they have a shot at winning. If not, they don't have any goal scorers. All right. I mean, their best goal scorer would be Bo Horvat, but he's no one's answering him. Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, or anyone like that. It sort of is what it is. Sorokin and bust for the Islanders here. Might they make the playoffs? Sure, but we have to remember in the Eastern Conference, it's likely the Atlantic Division is going to have 5 playoff teams. The Metro, only 3. Those 2 wildcard teams are probably coming from the Atlantic, not the Metro. It won't be easy for the Islanders. And let's face it, they're not a Stanley Cup team anyway. I'm not so sure how much it matters.
We were talking, George, what the hell happened to the Rangers? I mean, Panarin, obviously, we keep hearing is on the trade block. They should be able to get, a nice haul for him here. But what is happening? Are they just hitting the reset button, the Rangers here?
Well, they want to rebuild, all right? Not restart, just not tear it all down here, but they're tearing it all down. All right, they're going to lie to their fans. Oh, yeah, we'll be good in a year or two. No, they're going to tear it all down here. Joe, I have no answers for you. I mean, on paper, the Rangers look like they should have been a good team. You have Shesterkin, top 5 goaltender in the league, and that's probably being, not tonight. He's probably top 3, top 2. Panarin, Zibanejad's having a good year. You had Kreider last year and stuff like that. And it's a locker room problem. I don't know. Adam Fox is one of the best defensemen in the league here. Doesn't make a lot of sense here. We're hearing Panarin, by the way, that he's likely to be traded. I think it's about 70-30 before the Olympic deadline, which is Thursday of this week here. And apparently he's going he wants to be in your neck of the woods, Joe. He'd like to be in Florida, who wouldn't. But it seems like unlikely the Panthers are going to be able to figure out how to get him under that cap, especially since they don't know about Alexander Barkov yet. But now it's Tampa Bay Lightning apparently would be interested as well. Everyone's interested. How are they going to fit him under the cap and give the Rangers what they want? That's a big question. They're going to want at least a number 1, probably a number 2, not to mention a pretty good prospect there. And Panarin holds all the cards. He does have a no-trade clause, so teams probably would like to lock him up before making this deal as well.
George, let's head back up to the island here because the Pittsburgh Penguins are in town to take on the Islanders, and the Penguins having a pretty good season. This game lines up with a total of 5.5, but also roughly a pick 'em depending on which side you're betting tonight between the Islanders and the Penguins. What do we see? Islanders not so good last night. Now back home. Can they bounce back?
Both teams played last night, right? Both teams lost last night, so I guess it's even that way. They're both older teams. I say that because, once again, when you play in the second half of back-to-back nights, I tend to like younger teams. They bounce back a little quicker here, but both are older teams. You obviously got Crosby and Malkin, and people think the Islanders are a young team. They're actually not. A lot of old players on the Islanders, and the younger players, by the way, suck. So it not really matters there anyway. My first thought here was 5.5. I want to take the over, but it's minus 138. So we're not doing that. We're not paying $1.40 for the over there. I think I'll stay away from the under. I think it will be a higher scoring game once again. Second half, I think there'll be opportunities to score here. Crosby anytime goal certainly crosses my mind here. It's pretty much an even game here. Technically, the Penguins have a dog at minus 105. Islanders have lost 2 straight. I think they lose 3 straight tonight. I would take the Penguins.
It's crazy. What is Crosby like? 39? He's got to be pushing 40, and he still has 27 goals this year, 58 points, played in 53 games. It's been a hell of a turnaround for Pittsburgh. Kudos to them. But like I was saying, George, we've got Buffalo's a great story, right? They're doing a great job. This 2-week break for the Olympics cannot be good for a young team, an experienced team like Buffalo. Like, what are we getting after this 2 weeks? Like, who do we expect to make a run? Who do we expect to fall back? Playing their best hockey, is it good for Buffalo just to take 2 weeks off now?
No, I wouldn't want to be taking off on Buffalo. You've won like 19 straight games in a row. You're playing so well. The Olympic break is going to change a lot of things. Not only will there be trades, right? The deadline's about a week after they come back there, and there'll be some trades beforehand here. But we have to remember, there are some teams, I think the Lightning are one of them, that have like 10 guys on the Olympic teams. Not just Team USA or Team Canada, but Sweden, Finland. That's a lot of extra hockey you're playing. You cannot tell me that we're not going to be talking about an injury or 2 or 3 that come back. John Tavares hurt his knee years ago, right? He couldn't play. That's going to happen again. where we're going to have guys who are top players who they ain't playing in March, or they're out for the season, whatever it might be, because of an injury here. So we'll be talking about that as well. But the extra games that some of these teams are going to have, the Lightning, 10 guys, they play 5 extra games. That's 50 extra games they had to play. That's going to be a big thing coming out of the Olympic break here. But yeah, if I'm a team that's playing well, no, I don't want to have the Olympic break. No, it's just, of course not. If you're playing poorly, well, then the Olympics can help you reset a little bit, right? Help you reset for the what's going to become the final stretch run there.